Hello and welcome to Kindergarten Social Studies. My name is Mr. Bannister. I'm super excited to be here with you today to learn about where our leaders live. Now, here's a picture of our country, the USA. And here's your goal. You will learn about where the leaders of the USA live and work. Now, before we get started learning about where our leaders live, let's go back and review. I've got a question for you. Do you remember the leaders of the USA? Maybe you skipped that lesson, or maybe you remember learning about the leaders of the USA. I'll click, you call out the name of a leader or one of their jobs. Ready, go. This is the President of the USA. Very good. Joseph Biden. Do you remember his job? Yes, the President's job is to make important decisions for the USA, and he has somebody who works with him. Their job is called the Vice President. Do you remember who our Vice President is? Kamala Harris. Together, they are in charge of the USA, our whole country. Wow, a very important job. Now, up here, this part or state is called New York. And in New York, we have the governor, it's Andrew Cuomo. He is in charge of the whole state of New York. And we also have Bill de Blasio. He is in charge of New York City. Look, together, they run New York and make decisions for New York. Okay, so you remember now who our leaders are. Today we're going to talk about where does the President, Joseph Biden, and where does the Vice President, Kamala Harris, where do they live and where do they work? Now, ready to find out? Where do the leaders of the USA live and work? The leaders of the USA live in the capital city. Capital city. Think about that. Listen to that. Don't forget that, capital city. The capital city is called... Do you know it? Washington D.C. Okay, so President Joseph Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris live together in Washington D.C. Can you say the name of that city with me again? Ready? Say it with a deep voice. Washington D.C. Say it in a squeaky voice. Washington D.C. Say it in a whisper voice. Washington D.C. Good. Okay. So you won't forget Washington D.C. That's a very important city. Actually, look. What is the capital city? Well, a capital city is the most important town or city in a country. And our most important city is called Washington, D.C. Why is it so important? Because it's the place where the country's leaders live and work. Okay, would you like to take a look at a map? I love maps. I hope you do too. Let's have a look over here. Let's start in, hey, here's the Statue of Liberty in the Empire State Building. Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island. Do you know what city this is? This is New York City. That's not our capital city. No, it's not. It's a very important city, a very special city, but our leaders don't live and work here. I just want to show you, look, New York. That's where we live, right? Watch. The next map is New York State. Look at that. New York State. This big area here. And watch this. If I say, take me to Washington, D.C., click on that, and I'm going to get directions. Let me start in New York City. New York City. So I want to get to Washington, D.C. from New York City. Look. Oh, look at this. Here's New York. We looked at in the beginning, New York City. And to get to Washington, D.C., look, follow that blue line to get down here. Do you think, oh, here is Washington, D.C., the red dot. Do you think Washington, D.C. is close to or near New York City? Or do you think it's far? Yeah, Washington, D.C. is a long way away. You can't just walk there. Actually, look, to get there in a car would take 4 hours. That's almost half of a whole day in school. So, Washington, D.C., here it is. And look, watch this. The next map I have is of... Well, let's do this. I'm going to go back. And let me just do Washington D.C. Look, click. So we're going to zoom in. Here is Washington D.C. Now look here, the White House. This is actually the place where the President Joseph Biden and the Vice President Kamala Harris, this is where they live and work, the White House. You want to go in for a closer look? Look, here it is here. This green part is the area around where they work. It's right in the middle of Washington, D.C. Look, it says here, the White House, iconic home of America's president. Yeah, Joseph Biden. And look, I've got a picture of it here for you. Do you know why they call it the White House? Because it's white? Yeah. Isn't it pretty? Well, I really wish that I could have a look inside, don't you? Shh. Should we take a look inside? Yep, okay. Look, here. Next, the White House. We can actually go inside and look at some of the White House. Look, I'll make it bigger. Look, this is a statue of another president. His name was Abraham Lincoln. And look, we can't look at the whole White House, but we can look at some of the rooms. Let's go up here, take a look around. Oh, I wonder if we can go into this room here. Oh, look in there. Oh, look, the American flag. It's pretty pretty inside the White House. Look, beautiful lights. And let's see what's happening in this room. Oh, this looks like a very important room. Oh, there's another painting of another president. That's Abraham Lincoln again. He was a president a long time ago. And in these rooms, this is where the president and the vice president, Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris, this is where they work. Oh, we can't see the actual place where they sleep and where they live, but it's in a different part of the White House. Oh, can we go in there? Oh, we can't go in there. But look, that gives you an idea of what the White House looks like. Oh, look, you can see outside again. Okay. So, the President of the USA and the Vice President, they live and work in the White House in a city called Washington, D.C. Let's go back to our slides over here. Yeah, let's make this bigger. I want to say thank you to you for coming along, and I hope you really enjoyed our tour of those maps, looking and learning about where our leaders live and work. And I hope you enjoyed just getting a little sneak peek at inside the White House. Look here. Do you know what this star is showing us? Very good. This is Washington, D.C. right here, where our leaders live and work. And remember, the President, Joseph Biden, and the Vice President, Kamala Harris, their job is to make decisions. They're in charge of the whole of the USA. Thank you for coming and learning. I hope you've enjoyed our lesson today. I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.